You may not be looking forward to going back to work tomorrow, but a lot of new college grads would love to be in your shoes right now. The class of 2013 feeling the heat in a not-so-hot job market. But is the economy to blame? My next guests aren't so sure. Charlie Kirk and Hadley Heath are two young adults with one stern warning for their peers. Charlie, you go first. You say, lose the tude. What do you mean?
Absolutely. I talk to young people all the time, and they think that they're entitled to a job that makes them earn $250,000 a year so they can buy a Mercedes and they can have a $6 million home 3 years after graduation. That isn't reality. I like to think of my generation as one that's been pandered almost like they're bumper bowling their entire life. They're not allowed to fail, and they're not supposed to take risks, and by the time they graduate, it's a harsh reality. And I think that they've been pampered, and like I said, if you can't fail, then you can never truly succeed. And 4 years of college, they really don't have to pay for it. They never had to have a real job in high school or throughout college, and it's a harsh reality by the time they have to graduate.
What do you say, Hadley? Do you agree?
In defense of millennials, I would say yes, there is an entitlement mentality among America's youth, but I would also say this is true of Americans at all ages. I'm afraid we're becoming an entitlement society. And again, to defend some of our peers, the economic situation is bad, and the recession in many ways for young Americans hasn't ended.
Charlie, what happened to the occupiers? Weren't they supposed to be defending all young people and the 99ers and everyone else? Where'd they go?
I don't know. I think they went to go take a shower for a little bit. But no, in all seriousness, a lot of the young people that I know, I think there's a lot of self-inflicted wound. And what do I mean by that? A lot of young people are studying majors that really don't have reciprocating value in the job market. I mean, I have a young friend who's studying Eastern medieval history and taking out $200,000 in loans. Now, that might be a very admirable cause, but that's not going to result in long-term employment for him. And he expects a great job, $200,000 a year within 5 years. That's not realistic. And I think that we need to teach our peers and fellow millennials, listen, if you're going to study something like Eastern medieval history, don't expect to really get a nice job within the first 5 years. Understand and be realistic in your expectations in the job market.
Go ahead, Hadley. You want to defend the millennials studying Middle Eastern history?
I agree with Charlie in a sense. Our generation has been told from childhood, follow your dreams, do what you're passionate about. In many cases, we've been encouraged to go to college no matter what, even though that may not be the best choice for everyone. Ultimately, I encourage my friends, yes, follow your dreams. That's so important to do work that you find fulfilling. But find a place where your personal fulfillment fills a demand in the market. So there are places where young adults can learn more about what to expect in terms of salary, what to expect in terms of their potential, in terms of moving up in a certain job or industry. And that's information that they need to do. And it's part of learning that life lesson in an early job that you may be going to get coffee for your boss for a while. You may be standing by the Xerox machine for a while. But that's just a part of proving yourself to be a good worker and having the opportunity to move up.
Hey, Charlie, Hadley makes a great point. You're not going to start Dr. Kirk or Dr. Heath, so might as well start at something, right?
Absolutely, and I think that there's also a policy side to this. I talk to young people in high school, sophomores and juniors. They want to find a job, but because of cumbersome minimum wage laws, they just can't find a job that in a field that interests them. And I know employers that want to hire these high school kids. They want to get these kids to internship for them, but the regulation is ridiculous. They'll have to pay them money. They can't afford to employ them. And I think by the time these kids become seniors in college, they haven't had the job experience necessary to go into the marketplace and be able to be something lucrative for an employer.
All right, we're going to leave it there, you guys. Charlie Kirk, Hadley Heath, go out and get a beer. Have a great weekend.
Absolutely.
All right, it's one of the best